Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Can you see me? Can you hear me? How are we doing? I'm so sorry that I'm late. It was fun chatting with you guys, like in the chat, though. Hi, Marin. Hi, everyone. Yeah. So if you missed it, my computer decided I was like getting ready, and then I like came in here, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get started. And my computer was like, I'm restarting. I'm at 0%. This will take a while. And I was like, oh shit. So sorry about that. My computer was just giving me some trouble, but I am here now. We just started. I was late. So sorry about that. But thank you. Thank you, Laura. But I'm so happy to be here with you guys. As you mentioned, it's been a long time, and I'm just so excited to reconnect with you all and share a little bit about the Cobbler Dress and Set, which is our new release today on Patreon. Now, first things first, I'm sure you're wondering where baby Eli is, and I have to tell you that he was being such a terror while I was trying to get ready. I mean, I have never had a kitten like this. He is so high energy, so just full spaz every moment. And Henry's such an angel. He was never like this. Where are you, Henry? So he was spazzing out while I was getting ready, and I was like, oh boy, this is going to be interesting. And he went to bed and he fell asleep, and he is sleeping like the sweetest. He's literally sleeping like this right now. And so I kind of don't want to wake him, but maybe I'll wake him at the beginning or at the end. Sorry. Where are we? Yeah, he's all tuckered out. He's a little angel right now. So we're just going to let him sleep. And then at the end, maybe we'll have a little meet and greet with baby Eli. But thank you so much for your just enthusiasm welcoming baby Eli to the Charm family and his first modeling gig. So exciting. So where should we start? Oh my gosh, you guys. So what's this I'm wearing? It's the new Cobbler dress. So as you can see, this is a little 40s style pinafore dress, and it has pockets. I mean, would we let you down? It has princess seams, has shoulder princess seams. And then you have the option of doing a little ruffle into the princess seam. That is such a 40s look. And then a little tie in the back. And it's just below knee length with a little bit of flare to it. I have to tell you guys the whole story behind this pattern. It also includes an option to make a tunic length and a capri pant, which I'll show you in just a minute. But so from the start, we knew we wanted to do a cobbler apron inspired pattern, and that was part of the plan for this year. And I'm really excited for this month's crowdcast. So if you're on Patreon, please do join the crowdcast this month, because I have a lot of images to share of vintage patterns, cobbler aprons, that kind of thing. And the original idea for this pattern was the top and pants. So it was going to be like a cobbler set. And I saw you guys talking about the term cobbler apron and where does cobbler come from? And I think it's because it was what, a person who makes shoes, a cobbler would wear. It's like a work type apron. But it kind of took on a life of its own, especially in the 40s and 50s, as being a garment that women would wear. It was sort of like a pullover, with a tie around the waist and pockets. Like pockets were essential to the cobbler apron. And so one thing I really love from the cobbler aprons of the 50s is that they would have that hip length look and then come with a pair of pants too. So you had like a whole outfit to wear, and they were more casual. Like they kind of had the look of like, oh, I'm just doing housework today, wearing this old thing, kind of like how we would think of like sweatpants today. You know what I mean? So they were kind of like the 50s version of sweatpants if you wanted to look kind of cute, but like you had like work to get done. You know what I'm saying? So that was the original plan. And then as we were developing the set, at one point I was like, we got to make a dress length version of this. Like, we know people are going to want it. Like, should we do it as a hack? Like, should it be a separate downloadable thing? And then we made a dress version. Oh, and also we started looking at 40s pinafore dresses around that time and realized, like, oh my gosh, we could do both. Like, we could make both happen. So we tried out the ruffle, because if you know about 40s pinafore dresses, then you know that like the ruffle was a big thing. So tried out the ruffle and just extended the length on the top. And suddenly it was this adorable pinafore dress. So kind of like got the best of both worlds in one pattern, but we all fell so much in love with the dress in the studio that we were like, okay, this is no longer the cobbler set with a bonus dress. This is now the cobbler dress and you can have a bonus set. So, but the truth is that I love both of the inspirations for this, the more like 40s pinafore dress style. And I also love the 50s like capri separates look. And between all of the pieces, you kind of have like a mini capsule wardrobe here. Oh my gosh, is that Susie? Hi, Miss Susie. So good to see you. So what can I tell you? Should we take a look at the set, the two-piece set? So here's one version. Oh, it's actually showing up pretty well. Now I'm getting all blown out, but I think you can see it pretty well. It's a hip length top with shoulder princess seams. And this one doesn't have the ruffle. It has binding at the neckline and the armhole. And if you are on Patreon, then you'll know that this month's special skill and what you're earning your merit badge in this month is bias and bias binding. So in the long form Patreon video, I do a little section on what is the bias? What are different kinds of bias binding you can do? What is prepackaged bias tape? What is this? How do we apply this kind of bias where we give you a pattern for it? So we talk about that. I also talk about changing the grain line on a pattern piece. So to get this effect with the pocket, sorry, I know this is getting a little blown out and also a little moire there. But if you want to get the effect of the stripes going on the bias towards each other on the pocket, but the pocket is actually cut on the straight grain for like the dress I'm wearing, you want to change it to the bias. How do you do that? So I show you how to do it. It's super simple. And that gives you the opportunity to play around with the direction of stripes, which I think is a fun thing to do. So shall we look at the pant together? The pant is so fun because it's like secret pajamas, like secret sweatpants style. It has a flat front with darts, and then the back is an elastic waist. So the back is really big because it has to be big enough to pull over your hips, right? So you gather the back into elastic, and I show you how to do that on the video. And then this is one of my favorite features of the pant. Has a little slit leg opening and then a tie cuff. So you have these cute little ties. Oops, sorry, that's my phone. Let me just turn the volume off. Has these cute little ties on the cuffs. It's like a capri length. So yeah, secret sweatpants. So that's the pant and top combo. And then you're going to get a bonus free pattern on the Charm blog. It's not up quite yet, but it's coming. And this is Melicia's cooking corner is what we're calling this new feature. So Melicia made us a pattern for an oven mitt. I'm like, what do you call what is this? I hear that you can use this to cook with and to do baking with. I'm excited about this because it goes back to the historical concept. Oh, hi, Melicia. Melicia, tell us how to cook sometime. So it goes back to the historical conception of cobbler aprons and cobbler sets. They would often include, and also apron patterns would include like an oven mitt or a pot holder to match your outfit. It's such a like 50s, like domestic goddess kind of idea. And give Gertie a thumbs up, everyone. So how fun is this? yeah, you can make it yourself. Melisha tells you how. There are instructions on the blog. It's coming soon, and a free downloadable pattern for this. So how cute is that? Matches your outfit. Baking, is that the word? Yeah, so, oh my gosh, that's the new pattern, the cobbler dress, the cobbler set, and your oven mitt coming to you soon on the Charm blog. It's for baking your Charm Scout cookies. How do I eat? I do what I can. I do what I can. I've kept myself alive this far. Cheers, everyone. Oh, and so what else can I tell you about what's going on content-wise? Of course, on Patreon, we have a full 2-hour-long video this month. It's like a feature film, basically, starring me, showing you how to sew things. So you get start to finish sewing the cobbler dress. Actually, this is the one I make on camera. And someone mentioned, like, yes, this is a preview of one of my new Spotlight fabrics coming out, I think, mid this month, from Spotlight stores in Australia, New Zealand, and Singapore. This is a cute little, can you guys see? It's like, sorry, I know my light is like really giving me a hard time today too. It is a pale minty green poplin. It also has white polka dots, which you can see better on the actual video. And red, pink roses. So excited about this fabric. And then there are some border prints that you guys are really going to love too. I wish Spotlight were in the States too. I'm sorry. So yeah, if you guys live in a country other than the US, other than Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, go to the Sew and Tell, and people like find fellow Charm Scouts to send each other yardage. Okay, so you can make it happen. You'll make friends in the process. You'll become international pen pals. And yeah, it will happen for you. So don't be afraid to go to the Sew and Tell and make a post and, you know, make friends. Listen, I call it the black market of the Charm Scouts. So yeah, go make friends, get someone to send you some fabric, PayPal each other. It'll be great. So, yeah. Oh my gosh. Someone said, can you imagine a novelty print outfit for Christmas or Thanksgiving? So cute. Okay. So you have your start to finish floral cobbler dress on the video. And then at the end of the video, I show you how to do kind of like the highlights of the pant, right? I kind of put the pant together, and then I show you how to do the waistband and the tie cuff. The waistband is a little different from a regular waistband because it has elastic, but in the back only. So not hard to do, but I show you how to do it. And then I also show you how to do the tie cuff, because again, it's just something that maybe you haven't done before. I hadn't done before, but now we all have. So there you go. Okay, so the other thing I want to tell you is in terms of other content we have. If you're not on Patreon, we are now doing these little fun sped up versions. And this is like Nati's, what I was going to call it your love child, Nati, but that sounds weird. This is Nati's baby. Way to make it sound weird in just a few phrases. This is Nati's pet project. That's kind of like the word I'm looking for. That's correct. It's your love child. So Nati has been making these amazing little shortened versions of the Patreon videos. So rather than 2 hours, you get 6 minutes, right? And everything is really sped up and fast and has a lot of humor and charm to it. And it's a good little teaser if you're not on Patreon and you kind of want to see what you would be getting. I also think it's great for patrons who, let's say, you know, you feel a little more advanced, or you feel pretty good on the steps, but you just kind of want to see it come together quickly or refresh yourself on the steps. It's just a really quick little refresher, or just a little quick little bite of candy to get you into the project, especially for those of us with short attention spans when it comes to video. So yeah, the videos are super cute. So yeah, I love the sassy comments. Yeah, okay. I'm glad you all love them so much. Yeah, I really feel like they're very successful. Like they don't give away the content that we're doing on Patreon, but they also kind of give you a taste of what you would get. And also I feel like you can learn something from them too. You know, someone in the comments today said they learned more in 5 minutes of this video than in other sewing videos they'd watched recently. So I felt great about that. I've never watched a full video. Yeah, so I'm glad you're enjoying them, everyone. So yeah, so any questions, comments you'd like me to answer about the new pattern? Feelings? Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything? I feel like I was, you know, I get talking, but, yeah, and actually we made another video. We have 2 more YouTube videos coming this month. And I'm excited to release those to you too. Those are a little secret still. Oh, Sandra has a good question. Why is the ruffle just in the front? I will tell you why, Sandra. So we actually talked about this. The reason is that there's no princess seam in the back, right? The back is just a flat piece. It doesn't have darts. It doesn't have any shaping. And the reason for that is it's supposed to be an easy pull over dress. Like, let me show you what it looks like when it's unbelted, right? It looks like this. So you have to be able to pull it over. So there's no shaping or anything in the back. And then to make it look cute and flattering and like a little cobbler pinafore dress, you tie it into a bow. So the effect that you're supposed to be getting here is a bit of a bloused gathered effect in the back here. So we did talk about potentially adding princess seams to the back so that you would have something to insert ruffles into there as well. But the thing is, because of the blousiness, I don't feel like the ruffles would have laid as well. See how you're getting this like smooth effect in the front now with the blousiness in the back? I don't think it would look that great with the ruffles in the back. So we decided to just insert the ruffle from the shoulder, and then it ends just above the waist tie right here. And then the waist tie is right above the pockets. Can you lift up the ruffle? So yeah, it's just a princess seam. There you go. And you can make it without the ruffle. So just to show you again, you don't have to do the ruffle. Here's one without, and you can see it just has 2 seams there. Okay, so I see some questions. Would this work in a corduroy for a fall look over tights? That's a great question. So corduroy comes in a lot of different weights. So I would say you would want to look for a fine wale or a pinwale corduroy for this to work, but it certainly could. You definitely don't want to go with a wide wale corduroy because it'll be too heavy and it won't be able to gather like you're looking at here. So I think you could do it as long as you went with a pinwale or thin wale corduroy. I would also say that if you're going to wear it with tights, you'll probably want a slip underneath, in which case try our Sweetheart Slip pattern, which is a half slip, very easy to make. The pattern is available to patrons. So anytime you join Patreon, you get all of the past patterns. So if you join today, you'll get this, you'll get the Sweetheart Slip, you'll get everything that we have ever done. So it's really an amazing deal, if you ask me. Okay, it reminds me of American Girl Molly's birthday dress from when I was little. Oh, that's so cute, Charlene. Erica, oh, you're going to make it maternity friendly. Congratulations. So yeah, I did hear some people asking about, could this be a maternity dress? And just like the popover, I certainly think that it could. I mean, again, I've never worn a maternity dress. I don't know. I've never designed a maternity dress. Like, do not know what I'm talking about. But I do think that you could potentially add some length to the bottom front, like around the front hem, and kind of taper it over, and then just change the placement of the ties so it was right under the bust. And obviously you probably want more width somewhere depending on how far along you are. Let's see. Yeah, it's adjustable in so many ways. So it would get you, I mean, even if you're not pregnant, if you just want something, you know, if your weight changes throughout the month, throughout the day, then it's a great like adjustable pattern, because you can just tie this a little looser or tighter depending on what you want at that moment. Let's see. So I'm just, could I use a French terry for the pants? I mean, you could certainly give it a try. They were drafted for a woven fabric, and French terry is a knit. So you're going to get a different effect. And I mean, like I always say, like, give it a try. It might work, but we haven't tested it, and we drafted the pattern for woven. So, but yeah, like, have that. I would love to know if you're interested, if that works. All right. So okay. Marin says, so you made the top without a ruffle, but is the dress without a ruffle a no-no? I have a modern dress that is very much like the dress without the ruffles that I really like. I think it's not a no-no at all. I mean, I think it would have like a really, it definitely wouldn't have a 40s vibe without the ruffle. I think it would have more of a modern, maybe even like early 60s vibe. And it would look great as a jumper, even like someone was just saying, in corduroy or something without the ruffle, and then maybe you wear it over a turtleneck could be really cute. I say go for it. And the only reason we didn't make any samples without a ruffle is because we're all obsessed with the ruffle and we just couldn't stop making them. So that's why. Is this good for a beginner sewist? For sure. I would say this is a really easy project, especially if you do the dress. And if you're feeling a little intimidated by any part of it, or if you just want to make it as easy as possible, I would say you could leave off the ruffle for your first one, or make the hip length top without a ruffle. The ruffle is not hard per se. It's just, so you have two mirrored images, ruffles, mirror image ruffles, right? They're like opposite of each other. So that means on this one, you have to understitch on this side, and on this one, you have to understitch on this side. So I kind of feel like even for an experienced sewist, it does take a little bit of like, okay, this ruffle goes on this side, so I'm going to understitch this side. But I mean, the video will hold your hand through the whole thing. Also, it's like the gathering. It's a lot of gathering. You see, it's a very full ruffle. So if you're not feeling so confident in your gathering skills and all that, just do it without the ruffle for your first one. I feel like it is just like a really satisfying and definitely beginner friendly project. And I feel like you'll learn a lot too. So this is, so the neckline and the armhole, as I mentioned, are done in bias binding. We give you a pattern piece to sew your own, which I really like. I think that's a nice thing for patterns to do. Vintage patterns would always say like cut bias to length, and it doesn't tell you the length. It's just like to length of neckline. And it's like, thanks for nothing pattern, so I personally like to provide you with those things. So we have like the correct length, the correct width, and then I show you how to apply a bias binding with just using a flat strip of your self fabric, which is what I did here. But I do also talk in the video about if you prefer using prepackaged bias tape and just, kind of sandwiching it on there, you could do that too. When will I be having in-person retreats? So currently no plans for in-person retreats. We are having a surge worldwide of COVID, the lovely Delta variant. So still on hold at the moment, but I will update you guys as soon as I have plans to start retreats again. Let's see. If we wanted a ruffle-less version with 3/4 sleeves, could the pattern be adapted with the sleeves you've already designed? So just like anytime you're asking yourself if a pattern is interchangeable with the others, like I would recommend looking at the line art, like if you're not sure. And first of all, we will always tell you if patterns are interchangeable. This pattern is not interchangeable with any other sleeves. And the reason is this, it's actually not really a sleeve. See how it just kind of like goes up from the armhole like this, and it's not actually like a shaped arm side. So this is like a little cut on sleeve, and it's very simple, and you can't use another style of sleeve to set into it. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't take a set in sleeve from Night and Day with a sleeve cap and try to set it in here because it would be down your arm. So, I mean, that said, you could, I mean, if you're experienced with drafting, like the sky is the limit, you could try to extend this out into a 3/4 cut on sleeve. But yeah, this one doesn't actually interchange with any other sleeves. All right, Trisha, hello, hello. It's so good to see you all. Could you please invent time travel so that I have enough time to make all of these? Yes, we are working on that currently in the studio, and we will notify you immediately on Instagram once time travel is available. Love this dress. Oh, thank you. Super appreciate the bias tape and the pattern. Oh, good, 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 good. Let's see. Do you think there's a way to make the skirt a bit bigger? I love the top, but I like fuller skirts. I mean, the thing about this pattern now is it's just, you know, it kind of flares out slightly and it has princess seams. I can't think of a way off the top of my head to redraft it so that it has a super full skirt, but you could try to add more width at the hem and then just extend the side seams. But then just keep in mind, you're going to have more fullness everywhere. So if you're looking for like a super fitted bodice with a waistline seam, like this just isn't it. You know what I mean? It just kind of, it has its limitations for what it is, which all designs do. You know what I mean? They are something, and that's reality sometimes. But this one is like an A-line pullover dress that gets cinched in with the tie. So I do know what you mean, but unfortunately, I think that that would be a different kind of pattern if you're looking for like a fitted bodice with a full skirt. Oh, thank you, Laura. The demonstration of how to change the grain line to bias was so cool. I was wondering how to do that. People keep saying, what fabric? With no question mark. What fabric? What fabric? So if you're wondering what kind of fabric to use, we do always give you, it's hard for me to remember off the top of my head. So I do like to refer you back to the instructions, but lightweight, you know, I think of things that you're going to be doing ruffles in, or you're going to be seeing gathering in the back. You know, you don't want anything too heavy. Poplin worked really well. Lightweight cottons. I did a Liberty Lawn for the other version. For the pant, something with a little bit of drape is really nice. I used a denim that's like a cotton and tencel blend. Have you guys used tencel blends? They're like very drapey and lovely. You could use, let's see, what is this? This is a lightweight cotton twill. That worked really nicely. This top is actually a tencel blend as well, tencel cotton blend. And I always give you the links to the things I used in the samples in the instructions as well. So they're actually hyperlinks that you can click on. The lemon dress is like a poplin kind of cotton. So, I mean, for cobbler sets, I feel like, and for, you know, pinafore dresses, if you want to go like classic, I would say like cheerful, lightweight cottons are like the way to go. And personally, I know I have so many of those in my stash. Like, how many floral print fabrics in cotton does one woman need? The answer is there is no limit. So I know you all have those in your stash. So now is the time. Poplins, lawns, novelty prints, broadcloth would work well. Have fun with it. Jenny says, I stopped at newly discovered quilt shop and bought Japanese cottons for this. Ooh, I love Japanese cottons, especially anything with like a little bit of a bark cloth texture. Cannot wait to see yours, Jenny. The limit does not exist. Fab, fab, fab. And can we have a hairdo tutorial? I love this style. So chic. So thank you guys. This style is probably one of my easiest hairstyles because this is a purchased braid. It is like, I got it on Vogue Wigs, and it's a long braid with an elastic loop on the end. So all I had to do was put my hair back into 2 combs on the side, and then I did a little bun, which you can kind of see back here. And then you loop the elastic of the braid over your bun, and you twist it around and tuck in the end in the back, and then just do some bobby pins. Fun, right? Halloween prints. That would be fun. I think this would be fun. I mean, a couple of people have mentioned Christmas prints. Thanksgiving prints would be really fun. Stephanie says, is this one you would make sure to make a muslin of, or is the fitting relatively forgiving? So for the dress, I feel like the fitting is pretty forgiving. I mean, we always include the finished measurements, and this one has a lot of ease, as you can see. I'll show you again. So see all this ease I have? Like, I know that people get scared when I make patterns with a lot of ease. Like the Harlow pajamas had 10 inches of ease in the hip, and it just freaked you guys out so much. But this is a similar one. Like, look at all of that ease. Like, that's a lot, right? And it still looks really cute, right? When you tie it. So, and it's meant to have that blousey back. So I would say, you know, take a look at the finished measurements chart, and we do provide you with guidelines for how much ease it should have. Like, we give you a range, like you're looking for this amount to this amount in the bust, etc. For the pant, I personally would probably make a muslin, just because pant fitting, I mean, everyone says it's hard, but it's more that it's just very personal. And even for me, I found I had to do some like fitting changes on the pant. Like the back crotch was a little too short for me. And that's something that's nice to know before you like make it in your fabric. So just, you know, I would say it could not hurt, especially if you have like some, I mean, it's one of those things that maybe you could do like a wearable muslin of. We've been talking about this lately at the studio, that like especially pants are just like, when you make them in muslin, it's just like such a bummer how they look. Like, who wants to wear muslin pants? Like, nothing looks good. Like, it's not flattering, that color. Like, you see every wrinkle, which is kind of the point, but still, it's like a bummer, you know? And then you're kind of like, oh, I don't know if I like these. But, you know, if you have like a leftover, you know, a cotton or something that you could use that's not muslin colored, like that will probably make the process more enjoyable. I will say that. Andrea. What is, oh, sorry, I'm just like trying to catch up. Someone said, I need to go down a size when I made my popover. Should I do this with this dress as well? This has a different fit than the popover. So again, I would say like check the finished measurements, because the popover is a trapeze shape. It has a lot more ease in the waist and the hem. So, and this is more of a slim shape, more of like a tunic kind of shape, because it's more of a 40s style than a 50s style. So it's just different. But I would check out the finished measurements and see what you personally prefer. I mean, the finished measurements are there to guide you. And if you have personal preferences, they can help you figure out which size to make. Okay. What is my fabric line called at Spotlight? What is it called? It's been a couple of years since I had fabric at Spotlight. It's just called Gertie. It's called Gertie by Gretchen Hirsch or something like that. If you search Gertie on the Spotlight website, it should bring it up, though I don't know if they're on there yet because I'm kind of jumping the gun with this a little bit. I know it's coming out like mid-month. Okay. Could you use flannel with interfacing to stiffen the ruffles? I don't know if you necessarily need to interface to stiffen it. I mean, this is 2 layers of poplin, right? So the ruffles are self-faced. So to finish them on the other side. So because you have 2 layers and flannel can get pretty bulky, I don't know if I would recommend adding another layer in there of the interfacing. But I mean, again, like you could try it out. You could always do a test. It doesn't take that much fabric to cut out just like one set of the ruffles and see how you like them. So that could be something you could do. Let's see. Marin, I probably still need to add to the hip/butt a bit in the dress, even with the ease. Let's see. Should I go with the finished measurements to choose the size? So in every pattern that we release, Patreon, Charm, anywhere, you will see that you have 2 size charts, right? You have your size chart of your body measurements, okay? And also note that we now have more sizes. I'm so excited. We haven't talked about this on YouTube yet, but we now have a second size block. So we have our existing range still intact, 2 through 20 with A through H cup sizes. And now we also have 18 through 34, which I'm so excited about. So, which also has A through H cup sizes. So you will note that there are 2 sizes that overlap between those 2 ranges. So if you're an 18 or a 20 and you're not sure which range to go with, we have a blog post on the Charm blog to help you out. So do check that out. Why did I start this? Oh, okay, because you want to look at the body measurements. So look at the size chart for the body measurements. And that never changes, okay? So no matter what pattern you're making, if you're making a Dorothy Bolero, a L'Amour dress, a Cobbler dress, the size charts are always the same because it's for your body measurements. And those don't change. Well, I mean, mine change, but like they will not change from pattern to pattern for us, right? But then you have another set of charts, which is your finished garment measurements. And that tells you how much ease is in the pattern. So the difference, you have a 36-inch bust, but the finished bust measurement is 42 inches. So you have 6 inches of ease. And we also tell, and this is just like a random example out of my head. Doesn't apply to the Cobbler dress. We also give you a paragraph that tells you how we intended the pattern to fit. So it'll say something like, the Cobbler dress is meant to be a relaxed fit with such, this range of ease in the bust, this range in the waist, and this range in the hip. So then you can go to the finished measurements for your size and just say, okay, is that kind of like in the range of what they're talking about? Okay, I feel good about trying this out. On the other hand, if you're like, I don't like how that fits on her. Like, I really wish it were closer fitting. I'm going to use something with stretch. I want it to be tighter, or I really want more ease. Like this is the time for you to make decisions for what you want. And another thing is like maybe not the Cobbler dress, but like say you're making a circle skirt and we have 1 inch of ease in our waist. Well, you have a circle skirt that you love that has 2 inches of ease in the waist. And that that's how you feel comfortable. The finished measurements give you that extra bit of information to make size decisions on your own. But we will kind of like guide you in the direction to say like, this is what we did. So like, all of our models are wearing this amount of ease. If you want the dress to fit similarly, then you should make this size. But it's, this is why we sew, right? Is so that if you want to change something, or if you think that this would look great as a more oversized dress, like, size up, go crazy. Or if you feel like you want it to be a little more form-fitting, try the next size down. It's like the sky is really the limit. So have fun with it. Let's see. What height range are your patterns usually sized for? So they're about 5'6", I would say, my height. So usually anyone who's taller, like for instance, Melisha is like 5'8", so we make things slightly, we'll like adjust things, especially the length for her sometimes. And then someone like Susie, who models for us a lot, is 5'2", 5'3", I think. So for her, we'll make some length adjustments. And we do try to give you information about, if we can, we like to include length adjustment lines on the pattern, so you know where you can overlap to make them shorter or slash and spread to make them longer. So hopefully that helps. I'm a tiny Tina. Aw, Susie. She's our little pocket model. Are you going to have any more Gertie fabrics available at Joann's in the US in the future? No, I mean, no. I'm not. They are not doing my fabrics anymore, but we are working with Spoonflower, which I'm really excited about. We did a release called Camp Gertie on Spoonflower, and a really fun border print, like a scenic camp border print, which I'm obsessed with. You can see those on my Instagram and on our blog. Some fun all over prints. And we have another line at Spoonflower in the works. So I am excited to share that with you. All right. Oh my God, wasn't too sure. I'd love this month based on the guesses, but I was wrong. Guys, if you're not on Patreon, one of the most fun things is the last day of the month, I put up a sneak peek of what the next month's pattern or the next day's pattern is going to be. So yesterday I put up a sneak peek for today. Now, the problem is everyone is way too good at guessing what the pattern is based on a sneak peek photo. So I have to be like really, really super vague and not even include any of the garment usually in the sneak peek. And it's so funny because people will guess what it is based on pretty much no information, like kind of like a snippet of a photograph. And then I'll give like a couple little hints. So it's so funny because you guys will still get it. So one person guessed pinafore dress, I know, yesterday, which was really cute. Everyone else was guessing cat suit because I kind of sent you down. I did a little like red herring kind of thing, I'm just that cool, where I was, talking about Eli and that it was like a perfect release and stuff like that. So hoping for spooky, let's see, spook flower. Kendra says, I just got my Spoonflower fabric by Gertie and it's adorable. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're like so happy with the new line, especially the border prints are like so much fun. So check them out. Anastasia says, that's something I've always wondered. On full skirts, where is the best place to make length adjustment when there isn't a marking already in place? For full skirts, you can really just adjust from the bottom. I mean, there's no reason why you can't just extend the length at the hem. So that would be my recommendation. It's more for like pencil skirts or anything with some side shaping where you want to reach, or something that has hem shaping too, like something if it had like a flounce or like a flare or something, you would want to retain that shape where it's supposed to be on the body. So you would lengthen sort of midway, like mid down the thigh. But if it's a full skirt, you can really just go from the hem. Where's the Diet Coke? Oh my gosh. Guys, I already had one Diet Coke today. So I am drinking a La Croix hibiscus flavor. This is like my favorite little seltzer flavor. Let's see. I thought for sure it'd be a caftan. What am I under on Instagram? So my Instagram is Gertie18, Gertie 18. All right, everyone. Any more questions? Should we do a meet and greet with Eli now? Do we feel ready? Are we ready? He's still sleeping like an angel. La Croix, please sponsor Charm Patterns. Wouldn't it be cute if they would make us a special flavor, like Charm, I don't know. Oh, Eli, your presence is requested. All right, let me get him. He's sleeping like an angel. so sleepy? Come here. You gotta meet your fans. Oh, my baby. Here he is. He's the sleepiest. This is baby Eli. He's very sleepy right now. Let's see when he oh, awake? Baby Eli, your fans are here. No, that light is bright, isn't it? This is baby Eli. Aw, you're being so cute. You tired? I know, he's getting so big. I met this baby when he was like 4 weeks old because I fostered him at his brother's and his mother. We used to call them the potatoes because they were like these round creatures. They did not look like cats. So round. And they had these little turtle tails, right? Like the tiny, like 2-inch spiky little tails. He looks innocent. Don't let him fool you. But now he looks like a cat. You little cutie. I'm hoping he becomes more of a cuddler. Henry's a big, big cuddler. And Eli is just too much of a spaz at this point, aren't you? It's hard. Is it hard to cuddle? He's purring. He's a little purr. Oh, I know. You're a good boy. This cat has more toys than any cat I've ever seen. He loves toys. Oh my gosh. Yeah, what's going on, Eli? Where are we? Where are we? So you guys have seen Andrea in the live stream in the chat, and she works with us. She does like sample making, and she's done like costume history, and like she's run a costume shop at a college. Like she knows her stuff. And so I'm excited for you to meet her a little bit more. But she adopted Eli's brothers. He had 2 brothers and she took them both. So I'm so excited that they ended up together. I kept baby Eli because he and Henry are like super bonded at this point. Yeah, is it now time to freak out? Time to freak out? Where's Henry? Where's your buddy? He's over there. It's okay. Yeah. Okay, full spaz. So that's about as much as he can handle in terms of cuddling. He's like, what's Henry doing? Yeah, so I have never had a cat this small. And when I adopted Henry, he was 6 months old. And he had been living on the streets in New York City. And he was just like so meek and like so scared. I mean, scared isn't really the right word, but he was so trusting of me, right? Like he was just like so ready to have someone take care of him and like just so trusting from the beginning. Like I brought him home. I like bathed him because he was a hot mess. And he was just like, okay, like just kind of like looking up at me, like, whatever, do what you must. And he was cuddly from day one. And he never, just because he was a little bit older and he was kind of like fending for himself on the streets, like he has never been like, he never had that kitten energy of like literally bouncing off the walls. Like I have never experienced it. And I don't think Henry's experienced it either. And he is this little kitten. He's over there like, oh, he's getting a bath from Henry right now. It's so cute, you guys. They're like bonded. So yeah, does Hattie like Eli? She doesn't love cats. She's not a huge fan of other animals. Like as far as she's concerned, like she's the only animal that should be allowed in the world. But, you know, she just growls at him a little bit and he goes on his way. But he would love to be friends with her, but she's not having it. Yeah, so they're so cute. Henry and Eli are so cute together. And Henry's been doing a lot better lately, guys. So cross your fingers. He even like started cuddling with me again the past couple days, which I'm really happy about because he's been sick and he like kind of wanted to be on his own. So that was like hard for me as a codependent mother. So yeah. So he's doing a lot better and hopefully he will continue on his upward spiral. Is that a thing? You spiral upwards. All right, everyone. So thank you. So yeah, if you missed what we were talking about earlier, it's the release of the Cobbler Dress and set, which is on my Patreon. So check that out. So cute. And check out our new videos. And like I said, we have more coming this month. And I'm so glad we got to connect a little bit today. It's been too long, and I'm excited to do more of these live streams with you all now that we're kind of back from summer vacations and all of that. All right, everyone. Thank you again for joining. And thank you for bearing with me at the beginning of this where my computer decided to restart at the last minute. And I love you all. And don't be strangers. I will see you soon. All right. Goodbye.